Well, what's up, everybody? We thank y'all for coming out and watching us again on My Turn, My Truth. It's a podcast, family podcast from the Rice family. Podcast that's based on when it's your turn, you do what?
Tell your truth.
Doesn't matter what it is, just, be honest when it gets to you. Right now, you're looking at the Rice man. Who else we got with us tonight?
Mata.
It's your girl Kim. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram at m.kennedii.
I'm Mackenzie.
I'm Marielle.
All right, we have all the cast members in tonight. Nobody's missing. We had a couple people missing recently. Son, you were gone on the last podcast.
Your dad called you two people.
Huh? Well, Mackenzie and Son.
Yeah.
No,
I missed the podcast. I was with my church. We do a little youth camp. So.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing. You just missed. You had a purpose.
Yeah, I had fun with my guys.
How did that do? Everything went well.
Oh yeah, it was good. A lot of little kid drama. They try to bring me into
always
telling me about their boyfriend and girlfriend.
Oh, boy. What's the age group here?
It's high school. No, actually, it's middle school from 6th grade to 12th grade.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I heard it was a good little mix.
Yeah.
I'm not a hitch. I'm not a relationship advice person. I'm just making sure that you
lost all connection.
Yeah, lost
all connection.
Okay, it's okay. I'll post on the page.
All right, we back though.
Okay.
We back.
So you're not a hitch.
Welcome back. Yeah, I am not a hitch.
We just want to see if y'all was still there.
I just want people to love the Lord.
That part.
Amen.
That's bad.
Unplug, and they have to unplug. This place has no service, no phone.
There is no service,
no
in this
tablet.
So I was disconnected for 5 days,
as they should be. Their children.
Okay,
so it was fun.
Any icebreakers tonight before we get to the juice?
I have a couple of icebreakers. So somebody says, and I think we may have talked about this, that when the cultural difference between Caucasians and Black people is when they say stuff, we always say the opposite. So basically, I said, Caucasian people say don't do that. Like parents say don't do that, and Black parents say do it again.
Do it again. That is
right. We get warnings. We get warnings.
And how Caucasian people say you don't want to know, and Black people say F around and find out.
Okay. Okay, I'm digging that.
You do the icebreakers all, but you supposed let us say what we think it could be.
Y'all go.
No, you give one.
Okay, so okay, let me find some more. Let me see. White folks say, "All right, everyone, with me, let's roll." What do y'all think Black folks say?
Do y'all say that? All right, let's roll. Let's roll.
Like roll out. Back in the early 2000s.
And what do y'all think
I don't
the Black
hear it
folks
anymore.
say? But what do y'all think the Black folks say?
Let's roll like.
Let's roll like let's go. And what did the Black folks say? It's got to be the opposite.
You ain't got to go, but you got to get the H out of here.
No, they did say that. That was a good guess.
Let's roll.
Let's roll.
Then it got to be if it's the opposite. Got to be let's stop rolling or something.
Let's bounce.
Let's bounce. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Let's bounce.
I think I was going to talk myself into getting that one right.
Okay, one more. Caucasian people say you got the wrong one, pal.
You got the right one now. You got the right one. You got the right one.
Everything you're looking for.
Everything. I want all the smoke. I want all the smoke.
Yeah. The right one. That was kind of funny to me when I saw it.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, it's always opposite. Or like when they say she's so pretty or she looks so good, and then Black people say, "Oh, she bad." Where's the? Okay. First topic. Who's going?
I guess I'm volunteered. Mackenzie said it's going to be me first.
Yeah, voluntold.
There was. That's right. There was a post out from, I think it was on Instagram. It started on Instagram, then it went from there, or TikTok. I don't know. Some of them started on one platform, share it to the next, and it's just out there. But I want y'all to listen to this, and there's some follow-ups that I want to have come from that.
The kids are already giving it up.
So let's see if I can start it from the beginning here.
We do not know what this is. Chat, we do not know
what this is. Yes, we have not heard this.
They have not heard this. This is new for them. So Okay, let's.
And I see him talking to this girl.
I already started in the middle.
A white man today at the YMCA told me.
We're gonna start one more time.
A white man today at the YMCA told me to get off of a machine because he so-called was using a machine when he wasn't. So he tried to use intimidation tactics and tried to antagonize me to get off of the machine. And I stood my fucking ground and I looked directly at him and I said that I will not get off this machine because I pay for this membership as well as you do it. I am scanning the gym and I see him talking to this girl. And I'm just looking around. I said, okay, I'm assuming that it's his girlfriend. Because again, I got one eye open with him because he was slamming stuff around and I don't know what he is capable of, right? So he says something to her and she walks over to me and says, hey, I was using that machine. So at this point, I'm pissed off. And I'm saying, okay. I said, you know what? I said, leave me the alone. I said, I know he sent you over here to fuck me because he did the same over there. He was standing in behind her as if he was protecting her, even though I know that he sent that over there to say something to me. You understand? So one thing led to another. So at this point, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel highly threatened because I am the only black woman in there. So I grabbed a weight and I said, look, don't you take a step towards me. And I genuinely mean that. So everybody's looking at us and then they say, you know, the employees walk over and say, hey, what's going on? Blah, 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 this and the third. She immediately tried to play victim. Well, all I was asking her, no, you was trying to intimidate me. I say all this to say this. There were two black men present when I was getting into it with these people. Okay? This big buff 300-pound white male was walking towards me. You know what they did? They sat there like cowards. They sat there like cowards. And black man, I'm just gonna tell you right now, this is why nobody respects you. Nobody is respecting your women either. And y'all sat there like the fucking little stooges and was laughing and thought the shit was motherfucking. You notice, okay, when the white woman walked towards me, the white male was standing behind her, even if he knew she was wrong, because he knew she was wrong. But because it's the principle behind certain things, he knew to still protect her, regardless of her being wrong or right. And this is something that you black men cannot grasp. You know why? Because you spend a day online arguing about 50-50 and arguing about what black women ain't doing and everything is fucking black women fault. The whole time they out here antagonizing and fucking intimidating black women in public, and we do not feel safe and we do not feel protected. Okay? But you know what? I'm fucking land a plane with this one. I'm gonna land a plane with this one. And I'm speaking directly to you black women when I say this. Get you a fucking pew-pew. Don't you wait on nobody to stand up and do a thing. I told them motherfuckers in there, don't you take don't take another motherfucking step towards me. And if you want to get stupid, we can go outside in my motherfucking front. The bitter reality is, black women, you are alone. You are by yourself and you are not protected. Because the rich overpowered, okay? They are overpowered by these tap dance. Like I told them motherfucking a white man today at the YMCA told me to get off of a machine because he.
All right, I know that's a loaded clip to play.
I'm ready.
I am too.
All right, so you what now?
He said, "I'm ready." Me too.
All right, well, jump on in. Let's go. Who?
You got to be a devil's advocate.
I'm not.
Okay, sorry. Your face just.
LaQuisha, whatever your name is, I apologize for that one inconvenience that you had at the gym that made you feel like you can categorize all black men
right
in a bond. If you ladies don't get a pew-pew. If you're gonna get that mad and not just walk out the situation, sometimes it's better off to just walk away. Honestly, I would have stepped in like, hey, yo, chill. You know, just that's the person I am. Hey, move around. Like, she was here, I seen her. I go get the worker, the supervisor, whatever.
But what if you didn't see it?
If I didn't see it, then she's just SOL, and I hope she used that weight.
I wanted to go.
If I didn't see it, I don't think that's a coward for standing in my lane, because if, again, a lot of times women don't see, especially enraged women, when they want to take on these battles and stuff and get on weights. If I would have stepped into that 300-pound white man and put myself in harm's way, then that could have ended horribly wrong. Because like we've talked about in other episodes, men just don't fight just to fight. Like, we gonna really hurt each other, and it really might get serious over a machine. So at the end of the day, I'm trying to talk to you. Hey, leave this lady alone. She wants to work out. And then it could bleed over into somebody getting shot, somebody get beaten across the head, somebody could be dead. So it's a bigger picture than just being a coward. You gotta look at all the the logistics and everything.
Yeah, right. And I was going to go there as well, because it's kind of hard because if you feel like somebody is sitting there and someone could defend you, yes, it would be nice, but I can't expect somebody that I don't know to jump in and fight my battle for me. Not saying that they shouldn't. As a man, if you see something wrong and you can help and you have the means to help, I think that you should, me personally. But as a woman who is in this gym alone, I don't have my man, my brother, my dad, somebody here with me who actually cares about my well-being, someone who is more than likely going to be paying attention to me. Then I probably, no matter how I didn't want to pick a fight with a 300-pound man is just probably something that I would not have done. I would have went to go get a worker. If the worker didn't want to do anything, then I'm not going to pick up a weight and think that I can beat a 300-pound man in a gym that I don't know by myself with no backup. I probably, like Mackenzie would have said, me personally, not saying that she should have had to, but me personally, I probably would have just remove myself from the situation before it gets too busy, because I just don't think that like it's worth getting into a fight, picking up a weight, smacking somebody across the head over an equipment,
catching a charge, aggravated
over
assault.
Equipment at the YMCA. I'll ask the workers to go pull the cameras. We could talk about this. I say I don't feel safe. I'll call the cops if I felt like I was really threatened. But to stay there and pick up a weight and say back the F up when I don't got nobody with me on my team, I just probably wouldn't have done that.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I feel like you got to be smart, because a lot of times, and now don't get me wrong, I understand what she said as far as the intimidation tactics and stuff like that.
Yes.
You know, that's untolerated. That should not have even occurred. And then outside, I'm just going to take the color out of it, because if it was any other man in there, outside of a black man, it's like you can help without helping. So you don't have to necessarily be aggressive,
right?
But you can let people know that you're also paying attention to what is going on. Mm-hmm. You got people recording. You got all this other stuff that can kind of help digress situations that you could do. Or my kids both said some of the same things that I probably would have done when they got the people that work there, called the cops, things of that nature.
They said something, hey, you good?
But just like, or you just walk up and just say, hey, sis, you all right?
Yeah.
You know, you got to just get in a brawl because, you know, and I get that she was talking passionate because of the situation and how she felt at that moment, because that was her experience. Right. And she probably, you know, of course, she said at her own mouth, she did feel intimidated. But the first thing when I heard this is like, and my son said he went exactly to the place that I went. Why you gonna use those two black men in that gym and categorize the entire black men community? Because a lot of black men that I know will not only protect themselves, but they will protect those that are around them. So I feel like some kind of way that you just go put our brothers out there like that, because I have a huge family. An absolutely huge family. And I know for a fact that all of them will stand up one way or another. Now, I ain't saying that they go try to take a bullet for you. I ain't saying that at all.
Sorry, lady.
But what I will say is they ain't gonna just let nothing go all the way out the way either.
Absolutely, both sides.
So I just feel like that was just a knock on our black men. And that's the thing with our black relationships. Our black men and our black women, you know, always at each other's throat, because we love to pit the negativity out of a situation versus building each other up. And it's absolutely just so tiresome. It's like, it is just tiresome to me.
Man, right. All of that, I think everyone said I agree with. Mm-hmm. There's some things that I think that's missing from this.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And women, don't go get a pew pew. That don't sound like it don't hurt nobody. Yeah. Pew pew. If your gun say pew pew, then nobody's gonna be scared of your gun.
I think they would have censored her video because if she said
no, but that's what they call them now, pew pews. I mean, that's not the first time I've heard that. All right, but yeah, that's one thing. Second, I want to say I want to say something that may or may not be obvious, and I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm at the gym at this time. What if the black men that were sitting there did not view the situation like you?
Oh, that's huge.
And they may have helped if they thought it was at a volatile nature, or they thought that, okay, something about he finna hit her.
Right.
But maybe they didn't sense that you were in any impending danger. Maybe they thought y'all was still just over there arguing about a machine. And it wasn't going to escalate to the point that they need to jump up and show force. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they thought like this, it ain't nothing. The man ain't really finna go hit her. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they just didn't view the situation in the same imperativeness that you did, for one. The guys that I know, for any woman, if they thought she was of any race, kind of thought that, okay, this seems lopsided and this big man finna jump on this woman. I don't care if she was white or, Asian or Hispanic or whatever. I'm likely gonna say, if I thought that he was gonna jump on her, I'm likely to get up and say, hey bro, let's dial this back. Let's go get someone or something like that. But maybe they didn't read the situation like that. But to go and say all black men and, black men don't protect, black women and things like that. And I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that at all.
You're good.
Okay, it's something you want to read?
We have. I thought you were wrapping it up. That's all. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, you
go ahead and say what you want to say.
No, I was gonna say. So Adnan Hassan says, "Go get the strap. We ride at dawn." And Ralph Kelly says, "Black folks will swim over."
I'm telling you, we know plenty of them.
Yeah,
Alabama
but for her to categorize that and say all black men, I think that's an issue.
It is,
and I think the comments on a lot were because she made the post and there were comments. They were saying, "Yeah, girl, you right." There's a whole lot of women saying, "Yeah, girl, you right." Then there were some women saying, "Girl, you tripping." All black men are like that. Don't do my black men like that. So you need to watch yourself. That was your one situation, and we weren't there. We don't know how bad it really was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like that all the time. But a lot of black men did chime in and say that a lot of today's black women are so ultra independent, and they don't need a man for anything until you need a man. They do this. They're about their bread, they're about their money. They're doing everything to be independent from men that don't need men for anything. And a lot of the black men were saying, because y'all don't want to be under a black man's covering. Because you refuse black men's covering, saying, I'm going to get it myself. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to do this. I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need you until I need you.
But we don't know if she was like
that.
Right.
We don't know that. But I'm just talking about the generalization that she put out there. I can make
an assumption that she was.
That, y'all don't want to listen. Y'all don't want to listen to us. Y'all don't want to say this. That you don't want anybody to tell you anything to do or say anything to you. So you don't want to be up under the covering of protection until you need to be protected.
I disagree with that.
I
wholeheartedly disagree with that.
And I'm thinking that is probably the case on a lot of situations, but maybe not this one.
Okay, I wanted to go to Dad's point about how the men that were in the gym probably didn't see her in any danger. I can kind of say that from when he said that, I can kind of get that too, because if he was really trying to go at her, I don't think that he would have brought the other woman into the situation if he really felt like he was gonna like blah 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 in her face, because I just would think to go get another woman, he go get another woman for someone to like, so he don't stand there arguing with a woman. Like a mediate. Well, that's not like a mediation person, because she straight up went over there and said the same thing she said.
Or she went over there to further instigate it, so it can seem like this big old gigantic man wasn't picking on this lady.
But he also said that man was standing behind that woman.
Correct. So they came over there as a force.
So was she scared of the woman or the man? The man was behind her. Was he trying to attack you or the woman? Like, who did you need protection from?
I guess she was
or
telling
you just wanted somebody to stand up for you.
Or it was two against one at that point. She was
telling both of them at that point, both of y'all don't come near me.
Nah, it's intimidation tactics.
I think
I do agree with
so
that,
too.
yeah.
But and when it goes into the gun situation, I kind of agree with Dad and Mackenzie. As far as, I think if you're gonna get that hot-headed and pick up a weight or something like that, then maybe we do need to look into other forms and not going to get a gun, because at that. I think in that situation, if that's a situation where you would have gone to get your gun instead of just walking away from the situation, that ends up really
but she did
badly.
make one statement that was of concern. She said, "If you take one more step towards me,"
so they were.
So it does mean like that there could have been some engagement of a step or two forward, like engaged.
Well, she said that they walked over there to her, and the lady started saying,
"No," but she said later on that she said, "If you take one more step toward me, and that's why I'm gonna hit you." Because
now you're invading my person. First of all, it's all intimidation because you trying to get a machine that you are not on.
Right.
I'm working on this machine. And you was not on this machine, and I'm working on this machine. Now you're trying to intimidate me off the machine. So when you, the guy, could not get me off the machine and use your whatever tactics that you use, whether, again, like all of us said, whether you white or black, you use those tactics and it didn't work, and then you go get your girl, like that was going to help you.
Right.
But then you come and stand behind her. So I see her point. But first of all, you at the gym by yourself. You have to assess your environment. You have to assess the situation that you're in, and you have to assess, is it really worth it? Because like Mackenzie said, that could have ended so badly on so many different ways. Because you had eyes on you, whether they were helping you or not. You had eyes on you while you were in that building. But when you went to your car, were those same eyes going to be on you? You don't know if them people would have followed you. You don't know what. So. And then she even said, don't let me go back to my car. And that's when she said the pew pew thing. But don't let me go back to the my car and get my weapon.
Or something like that.
We can take it outside. A 300-pound man and an extra person, and you that confident, but you ain't confident to stand there and defend yourself in public to stay on this machine. Like if you would have just continued, like the people said, I saw some comments was like, girl, you should just kept your headphones on and kept on working. Or ignore the situation. And a lot of times, a lot of people don't understand how powerful silence is. Sometimes silence is so much more powerful than you running your mouth. Because if you just sitting there and stay in your zone and doing what you got to do, these people realize, okay, this girl ain't saying nothing about me. And they're going about their way until you get off that machine, hopefully. Or not. Is it really just worth it to sit there and go back and forth with people and you don't even, like Morgan said, have your peeps with you who really care about you? The other people in that gym don't care about you. Of course, humanly, we hope that people care about your well-being. And like Marlon was saying, they won't allow anything to get too much out of control. But they may not see the situation that you see it, or they may not even be paying attention. And when they looked up, they probably just see them, y'all over there having a conversation. Who knows?
Well, I understand the fact that she may have been we just watched a movie called Straw. She might have been at a fed up moment, tired of people walking up to her, especially the white people saying this. So I can't say that. I don't know how my reaction would have been. In hindsight, me sitting at the table of the podcast, I can say if I was her arguing with them, I would have done something else. I might have been just as equally as mad and handled it the same way. So I can't say that for sure. What I would have done if I'm in a fed up situation and I don't like this. So I will give her that pass on how she defended herself with them. But it was just a turnaround to
the black man.
It's like, that's tough. Mm-hmm. And now she's saying black men. Now she has a public message out for all women. Women, you are alone. Black women, you're all alone. Get you a gun because black men won't be there to help you.
Absolutely.
And no, they didn't help you. There may be something that they knew about you or seen you do that before. I don't know what was going on, but that was, and I don't know. And there were some people in the message. There were some people in there saying, you at a gym on the white side of town. You're never gonna have the numbers there. Why even at a black gym on the black side of town? You have black men, or you trying to get away from black men trying to holler at you at the gym. No. So you go to the other gym. Not there, you ain't got the numbers because it's way more than it is you. And you ain't got no protection. You don't, so it's like it's a lot of people that were chiming in saying a bunch of stuff. But at the end of the day, they didn't hurt you. They didn't hit you. They didn't jump on you unless you just left that part out of the story. And there was no real physical engagement. So why are you mad still? You just didn't feel like you had the support that you needed. And there were so many women that chimed in to agree, which was the disheartening part of all of this. And I guess our women out there, if y'all are listening, chime in. Are y'all having similar situations like this that you feel unprotected?
Yeah. First of all, I want to apologize that happened to you because I have I know that white people still do that. And so I apologize on behalf of white people, first of all. But also too, though, like, I also want to apologize that no other white person stood up for you.
That's
because I'm assuming that there were other white people in there that were probably listening in, and I'm sorry that they didn't stand up for you, because that could have happened as well. I don't think that all Black men are like that. I know that my husband, if he were there, he probably would have said, hey, what up? But also protected himself as well in that situation. But I'm also sorry that this is the outcome of that situation, that it directed it towards Black men, which is propaganda since the beginning that white people have had. That, when we create trouble, it turns you against your own people. And so I just feel like that situation depicted that exactly to me.
It's just, my thing is,
that's very well said, Miriam.
My thing, yeah, this ain't gonna be. My thing is, she just went out on a limb and called out all. If there's only 2 Black dudes in the whole gym, why don't you just say men?
No, but look,
hey,
and then
that's where I was gonna go.
And this one man said in the comments I saw, he said, "Wait, at first I thought you said you was the only Black person in the gym. Now you said it was 2 Black men. Well, I mean, was you the only Black person?"
But she didn't. She said she was the only Black woman.
Right. But I saw a comment say that.
But if it's a gym, you will want any man.
I don't know if I like.
I would think that too.
But that's what I said. It just ain't Black men. Any man should have stood up.
I don't know if I'm creating this in my head, but I swear at one point she said that they were laughing at the situation.
Yeah, she did.
So, and that's where I was
that's
like,
where her
okay,
anger came from. Then.
Which I can see, if they're listening in on the conversation and they're laughing at the situation, I don't agree with that. But also too, I don't know what was actually happening.
A lot of times, though, in our head, when we have situations go on with us and there's other things going around and there's something like that happening or something embarrassing or something that's happening to you, you do feel like every reaction that somebody has in the room is towards your situation. And we don't know that that's what they were laughing at. They could I mean, they more than well could have been, but like, do you know specifically they were laughing at you? Were they near you? Were they on the other side of the gym? They could see you. Could they hear exactly what was going on? There's a lot of different things to go into a gym, headphones, different types of stuff.
All right. So I agree that it was the manly thing of any race to help.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Any race.
But I do also agree that if you see a Black woman in distress, Black men, I am more engaged. My antennas are up a little higher because I am very cognizant and sensitive of what goes on and what's said about Black women, because they're my women. They are. That's who raised me.
Right.
I was raised by Black women. I'm incredibly sensitive to their plight and the things that happen to them.
For sure.
That's just me being honest. Not that I wouldn't help any woman.
No, I agree.
But I'm for sure, would like to, if I felt like she was in danger, to show something, even if it wasn't just a mature, sobering, hey, y'all, let's just think about this. Let's take a break for a second. Let's go grab the attendant or someone who's there. Not saying I was showing up with, with ready to go, depending on the situation. But yes, I do feel like, I would have stood up for them, because I don't think a lot of other people will stand up for Black women. So I am incredibly sensitive to that. So I agree that I wouldn't have been sitting over there laughing. That probably wouldn't have been, but I don't know what they were laughing about, like you said, Morgan. But to push forward for another question I want for the panel, is it every man's responsibility to protect you, or is it your man's responsibility to protect you? Because we understand, like my son so diligently said earlier, when we engage, and when men fight, there's a high likelihood that somebody's going to be either killed or seriously injured, and there's probably going to be some jail time divvied out to one of them. We don't girl fight and they break it up and everybody go home. Somebody's usually going to be hurt when men fight. Mm-hmm. So men have to be very careful of when they step up. If my wife is at home and I'm stepping up for this stranger, I have a lot to think about.
And it's going to
I
have a whole lot to think about on how I step up.
So that was a comment that I seen, because I saw a lot of men comment saying that they would have stepped up.
Right.
And I saw again, some men comment saying that, to your point, you know, you asking for this man to step up for you in a way where he got other responsibilities at the house. He got a wife, he got a kids, you know, he got all these other things, and you asking that person to put that on the line for you. But then again, you already know that that's where a man's mentality is. Because that, like Mackenzie said, like Marlon said, when a man step up, they know that it's a possibility. It's a possibility. They have to think of that almost possibility that when I step up, and it escalate to a point where I can't back down from, because now I'm gonna put myself in this situation. Now I not only have to face the consequences that may come of this, but I also got to face the consequences of what's gonna come behind
loss
closed
of job
doors
with my family,
with my home life.
I was gonna say.
So the question is it every man's right to protect you?
I don't think so.
Or your man?
As a man, I would say yes.
I would say yes too,
to
a certain extent. To a certain extent, because I feel like my man have to protect me all out, no questions asked in that type of situation. But then, but with a stranger, you know, just being there to decompress and oversee the situation. I won't expect them to step up like how my son or how my husband would step up for me. Absolutely. I wouldn't expect that.
And I wouldn't absolutely step up for them. Because I do think in a lot of situations that I've seen online, and a lot of things that I've seen is women create, and I'm not saying just, you know, Black women create a lot of situations and make them bigger than they have to be, when they could have just simply done something else. Like, I'm not saying that she should have gotten off the machine. She shouldn't have had to. But in a certain situation, yes, just get off of the machine. I think a lot of times when things happen, like, okay, I saw a video of this woman at a grocery store, and a man came in, and he was a shooter. He had a gun, and there was a man in the store with his baby. And so when the cops came and the shooter got taken out, the lady was like, the man didn't step up and he didn't do anything, and I was standing right there and I was trying to talk the man down. And I'm like, in that situation, I would have gone the other way. Like, this man went and hid. Y'all are in a Walmart, and this man has a not even 1-year-old baby in his hand. I think it's kind of weird to expect this man with a baby strapped on him to jump in the line of fire because you're trying to talk a man with a gun down. I just think that's why I say I agree with y'all. In certain situations, I'm gone. In certain situations, no, I don't think that, because I think in certain situations, everybody could step in for somebody else. In certain situations, a woman could probably step in and de-escalate if a woman's beating on their boyfriend out in public. Woman. So I'm just saying, like, you can't like expect this and put yourself in a situation and then expect the man to get you out of the situation that you created.
But she didn't put herself in that situation.
No, I don't think, but I do think she kind of would have escalated it by picking up the weight and saying, y'all come near me, instead of going to get an attendant. I think if she would have swung that way. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I'm saying and maybe the guy was moving towards her.
Maybe that's the thinking part. Correct. Then I would have done maybe she 300 pounds and you got another person and y'all both trying to make me get off the machine. I'm outnumbered. Right. And I don't have nobody standing up for my defense. I'm picking up something.
I probably would have just moved away from the machine.
Morgan, as bad as people with their pride don't want to lay down, the smart thing is to move away. If you don't have numbers, do you know how often the men are right in a situation?
Absolutely.
And look around and don't have the numbers that suggest that I could fight back equally, and have to stand down and move to do something else. It happens all the time. It's called being logical. This situation is not in my favor. And sometimes I cannot let my pride push me to doing something, and I'm outnumbered to a certain degree that I don't have a win in sight. So there are some times where you just have to go get the attendant. And that means that I'm going to have to leave the machine.
Yes, and go.
I'm going to have to leave the machine. They're going to probably get on the machine. while I go get dude. But then we're gonna have to have a conversation with check cameras or something.
But then, because you did that, this dude, the attendant that you went and got, could have got them off the machine or kicked them out the gym.
Right.
And your problem is always all the way solved.
If I feel like you walking up on me, I'm gonna start backing up, and I'm about to head towards
that's you.
the door.
If you walking up, if you walking up,
everybody is not like you, but you are. Yeah, but in the situation where you're picking up weights and something, like Dad said, they may have not have viewed it that differently. I don't think that
walking up
those.
Is too,
I think
that's a threat.
It's at discretion
walking
of the
man.
Discretion,
because walking up on me is different than walking.
But ladies, I do want to say this. We're talking about black women, but I'm talking about all women.
Yeah, me too.
But black women, I think that's such an undervalued thing that very, very independent women forget when they're talking about they can do the same thing as men and they can do this, they can do this. If you're in a relationship, he had to pay some money, you had to pay some money. You don't like that. You give him sex, he give you sex. That's a wash. But for one person that has to or is willing to die for the other one, I don't know very many women that will die for their dude in an altercation. And I know most dudes that I know that are in love with a woman or with a woman would die for a woman. That's an undervalued thing from women. When they do the whole independence thing, if she had a guy there with her, the mere threat of what that guy could do is enough to probably back off a big 300-pound white guy at the gym.
Absolutely.
If she over there with her husband, he probably doesn't engage like that. I'm just saying, women, when you're talking about all the things you want from a man and what a man can give to you and stuff, don't undervalue that this man will probably be the one that put his life on the line when you won't. So that should scale him up some in a relationship, the fact that he'll die for you, and that's something that you wouldn't do for him. I just want to say that.
Yes, because most women, if something happened, I expect my man to go fight, and I'm
women don't even think like that.
But then you'd be mad that he asked you for 50-50. But he giving you 50 and he'll die for you. You giving him 50 and you won't. So, I mean,
50 in life.
Yeah, where's the value placed on the protection, real protection? And I just want to say that because this was a time when you needed that.
But we don't know if this woman was in a relationship and then her man, because I
wasn't talking about this woman at this time. I'm just saying, that's why I was talking about women. I said all women that I'm talking. I just want to make sure I don't know her situation.
Right.
Absolutely. But when you look at social media today, you see that being a very undervalued thing.
And in no way,
to certain women,
in no way, shape,
that are on social media. That's what we're talking about.
And in no way, shape, or form am I saying what these people did was okay. I'm just saying, me personally, because I don't have who I need, and this is a 300-pound male, I would have walked away. Just me personally. I'm not saying that you should have. You shouldn't have had to get off the machine. I think that was absolutely outrageous. I think that he should never be allowed to come back to the gym. But I also. It's just, you got to pick and choose your battles, and you got to be, like Mama said, you got to be smart in certain situations.
I think my mom said the silence would have been the loudest thing in the room.
Absolutely. I think
ain't no rational dude going to swing on a woman when there's 70, 80 folks in the gym.
About a machine.
That's why he got his woman to go over there.
So you can't be so irrational, so in your feelings enough to just, like my dad said, your situation might not be my situation. They're walking up on me and all this, and that might not be the case, because in my profession, there's been times I work with women and they said X, Y, and Z happened. We go look at the camera and I'm right there and I'm like, it didn't happen like that. Because if it would have happened like that, I would have intervened, because I know myself and a man knows a man. So a lot of times it is perspective. Like, just because you mad, had a bad day, don't mean everybody out trying to kill you.
Right.
I'm not saying that that's the case for this woman. I wasn't there. I'm only going from he say, she say. But you have to, pull your pride down and your emotions and kind of see what's really going on in front of you.
Right.
And how she's mentally assessing the situation herself, because like you said, a lot of women come and they're going to say this happened, that happened, another. Then when you go back and you assess the situation, it happened, but it didn't happen at the level that you said it happened. But it did happen, So again, I'm not saying that young lady, she was there by herself. She felt offended. The guy obviously was bigger than her. He had another person. So, I mean, I probably would have just left.
What I will say,
I probably would have just left.
What I will say to that gym lady is, I feel like what you said was, very inappropriate. Didn't make any sense. I think it was stupid.
Absolutely.
If you listen, if some way God blesses your ears to hear this podcast,
not blessed the ears to hear the podcast,
you will hear me say that is very stupid of you to say, because I can count on no fingers how many men wouldn't help you that I know.
Right.
Black or white or Asian.
Me too.
Like, I know everybody I hang around with would have helped you.
Yeah.
The frailest 130-pound man would have helped you. I don't like how you, that's why I knew she wasn't in her right space, because she went straight to the net and started bashing.
Right. And I don't know where she lives. I don't know what part of the country she's in. That might that could do
the
a demographic of the city she's in.
Yeah.
I don't know any of this because in the dirty South that's not likely to happen. You know what I'm saying? Down here,
that whole gym will fight for you.
Because I can tell you right now, when me and my friends were in Atlanta and this random guy came trying to talk to us, we were outside walking out of a restaurant, and this random man we've never seen, never talked. What I told you about trying to walk up to little girls. So this was a random black man, a random dude I've never seen before in my life, and he just walked up like he knew us, trying to get this man to leave us alone. Because
a hidden gem with certain black men, well, at least me, I would say for me, sometimes, nigga, I want you to push up. I want you to do something crazy to this woman. That's my alter ego.
Not to the woman. Not to the woman.
But he can tell me I can't escalate no situation because he would die for me.
I want you to do something crazy, and I'm on your head. I bet the people in Alabama watching the fighting about, I swing on that man. Swinging, I guarantee I'm gonna swim over here, and that's what they did. So a lot of us kind of psyched out too. So we will help you at any degree.
But it's like a lot of us are just tired. It's just tired.
Which I agree. Like
I feel like it's tired of having to always downplay your emotions, downplay your feelings, downplay the situation just to keep peace or make peace.
Right.
It's just like just our voices always having to be quiet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are just tired of that.
Yeah.
Which I agree. Like, I mean, and she has every right to be tired of that. And so,
but don't bash us in the process.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, it's like the propaganda of.
I wanted to know how many other men were in the gym that could have possibly been around other than the two black men.
Of that men.
That's what I said.
She jumped at the black men. Were any other men in the room? White men, Asian men?
But her problem, problem was not with white men or Asian men.
It was her
because he
Hispanic men.
Because what she saw at that time was the protection of
her people,
her men,
her people.
That woman and her man. They stood together as a unit. And again, that woman and her man. Where was your man?
That was her man.
Well, that's what the appearance was.
No,
she didn't say that.
I didn't say she said that. I said that's what the appearance of the appearance was.
No,
I didn't get that. I didn't even get that from the appearance.
Well, she just said there were two black men.
She said that. He said he went over and was talking to another white lady. Was talking to her.
We talking about the black men.
No, we're not. We're not talking about the black men. We're talking about the 300 men.
I didn't hear her say it all. I listened to it 5 times. Him say his girl. I didn't hear that.
I don't think a stranger would go at the bat for no reason.
Yeah, I would assume
they probably were friends, or he knew her, or some type of relationship. They had some type of relationship.
They had a relationship. It wasn't no random.
I thought we were talking about the black men, but since we're talking about the white man and the girl, I do think there was some type of relationship there. I don't think that he would have went to go tell her something. She would have came over there and just been like,
it could have been a sister friend, a girlfriend. We don't know. It was.
That's why I said some type of relationship, not like maybe
not
romantic.
They should not have done that at all.
Either way,
because I tell you one thing: if a black man come up to me and say, "Go tell that white girl that you was on that," I'm not. Who are you?
You're leaving out something that maybe they felt like they were on the machine and she took the machine. Maybe they really felt like that,
or they took a bathroom break.
And the other lady said she done did me like that before, so I know what you're talking about. We have no concept of what really happened.
I'm not thinking, but if there was, I'm just gonna.
But I will say,
logical sense would say if somebody's stuff was right there, that maybe somebody was right here. If there was nothing right there and she got on the machine, maybe they walked away, went to the bathroom, took their stuff with them, and came back. It's the gym.
You gonna have to wait.
You lose your
seat.
You're
gonna have to wait.
But I just want to know for the big comment, ladies out there, if you're listening and you're listening to the podcast, do you feel protected by the black men around you?
Yes, around
I want to know that. And do you feel protected by men around you?
I feel so.
Do you feel like black men let you down in the protection phase? I mean, you could drop comments live or later. Yes. Either way, I would like to know that. And men, especially black men, how do you feel about this comment with the black woman saying that black men are just not there for black women? They don't protect them. They feel uncovered, unprotected out there, and we don't step up the way we're supposed to. So and she sent out to black women saying, black women, listen, black men will not be there for you. Go get a gun because that's what your best protection is. How do y'all feel about that?
I feel like in my community, I have, but in the spaces that I put myself in, yes, I do feel like I'm protected. And also in situations around my city, I've been protected by people I don't know, black men or men in general that I don't know.
My whole life I have been protected.
I do think so.
I'm 50 years old. My entire life, from elementary school all the way through high school, all the way to where I am today, I have been protected by black men.
Well, I've been protected by black men. I'm a man
Whether
itself.
it's been my cousins, whether it's been my teammates, whether it's been my band members, whether it's been my classmates, they've always 100% of the time have stepped up. So I don't have that same thought process.
Absolutely.
All right.
Are we moving on?
Yeah, we're moving on.
Next. Okay, so my topic is going to be the Simone Biles and Riley Gaines situation. So if you don't know who Riley Gaines is she was an Olympic competitive swimmer. In 2022 she tied for fifth place, yes, with a transgender woman, meaning this woman was born a male. And so since then she has been really pushing advocacy for men not being in women's sports, biological men not being in women's sports. And recently on Twitter, she posted a picture that a high school team had put winning their state championship in baseball. And she put something and she said, what did she say? She said, y'all would win when your star player is a boy or a biological boy. And so Simone Biles, who is an Olympic gymnast, didn't really take too kindly. The Olympic gymnast. She didn't take too kindly to what Riley said. And she was just saying, bully someone your own size and you're being a sore loser because you lost and you couldn't just take your L on the chin. And basically telling her this is not the way that she should have went about trying to get advocacy for this, and that she should have went a different way rather than bullying someone not her own size, a child. So that's how the beginning of it was.
It sounds like to me they have some history.
Yes, absolutely. That's what...
There may be a point that's left out. I think there's some things that have been said or some rumblings under that why Simone may have responded, and I'm not sure of this, but it feels like there was something there.
Yes.
But I do agree with
Riley.
Me too. In the essence, in the grand scheme of transgender men that were born biological men should not be in women's sports.
Absolutely.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. I don't have any problem with transgenders being in sports. Just start a transgender league and everything. Transgender soccer league, a transgender baseball league, a transgender basketball team, transgender Olympics. And there we go, because biological males, in my opinion, have in physical, not all physical activities, but most sports will have a decisive advantage over women physically.
That's a fact.
It's just genetics. It's a fact that it will make it unfair. But and more, you said she came at like a year, sure you would win. If you had a boy player on your team to that extent.
I think what really was distasteful to Simone, which I don't know, but this is my grasp on it, is maybe because she put the picture of the high schoolers on there, and with your platform being so big, even though you're not saying anything that's like, oh, you're a boy, and just going really hard at the child, you could open it up for the world who may not have seen this to go really hard at this child. And that's what Simone was trying to say. With putting a picture of a child up, that's kind of like you're an adult posting a child. Now, you could have said something without posting these children online, but their team did post them. This is not anything that she went to go find a picture of this specific child.
They posted
it. She reshared it and put what she put. So I think Simone also told her to mess with someone her own size, which ironically would be a male. So Simone kind of threw a low blow.
She did.
But Simone did also come back to
apologize. She did for coming at Riley, how she came at Riley. Yes, she did.
Yeah. people on social media, you know, if you put a picture up,
it's up for grabs.
It's up. And if you're on social media and you have friends, you know, the reach of social media is endless.
Mm-hmm.
You give ammunition.
Knew what she was doing.
Yeah,
she knew what she was doing.
You give ammunition for people who have access to your page and your post to say whatever they want. And so you have to be prepared for that. You can't post something like that and then expect everyone to be mature, well-behaved, Christian adults.
Absolutely.
Because they won't be. So there's some preparation you have to have for your child in a situation like this. If you know you have a transgender child that was born a male that's on a female team, you know there are arrows coming. Mm-hmm. You know, but don't mean that people should shoot them arrows. But you got to know and you know and warn your child those are coming.
Because I am also on Riley's side. I do think that, you know, they shouldn't be in women's sports, but I can see where Simone is coming from with saying, okay, well, this post is not helping anything. You did post a child. You did. Not to say that you went and found this specific child and only this child, but I can kind of see.
But the whole take your L like a woman type of thing.
That part
against a dude. Now,
that part I don't agree with. You know. But Riley did come at her.
Yeah, I was gonna say Riley came back at her.
Riley came at her for saying that, you know, this is the way that we should do it. Because Simone did say this isn't the way that we should do it. We should get them to have their own avenue in sports.
Right.
She didn't say, you know, they should be able to play in wherever they want to compete. But she was saying, you know, hey, kind of, this is a kid. You're kind of posting a kid.
So outside of her going backwards and forth with Riley and Simone going backwards and forth, I was looking at some of the comments. I didn't really read a whole bunch of it, but I saw where the internet is just crucial, y'all. Yeah, like this is like the best thing and the worst thing at the same time. Absolutely. Because they were saying that Simone medals should be taken away from her and all this different stuff.
She earned that medal.
I guess for going back
because of what she said to the girl. I said
they made a whole meme about how Simone looks like a man.
Yeah,
they were coming at Simone.
This is why I don't do
but even
it's just evil and good.
She even said stuff about Simone back after
she
had posted
it.
She told she stooped down to her level as well.
She did tell Simone, you know, coming from a player, you know, who quit on their own team, I don't think you should be speaking on team sports.
And she came back.
That's a rumblings I think that have been there.
And she came back and won everything. So,
but Simone did come at her first. That was her response to Simone. Simone came first at her. So for her to say, you know, bully someone your own size, that to be the first comeback that Simone put, you would think that there would be some type of history there for her to just come back like that with an insult. You would think, hey, maybe these two have had a run-in before and it wasn't pretty good.
You ain't even do me on.
Right, because
I'm letting you know that now. If you post about me, it's gonna be skinless commented on your post or Mackenzie right. You're gonna hit me too.
That's how Cardi B.
I think I'm more like Jay-Z and Beyonce.
If
you're not on my level, if I'm the best gymnast ever, and I got people that are lesser gymnasts trying to troll me, I'm not even going to respond to anybody not on my level.
Get your weight up.
You know what I'm saying? Get your weight up. Why would I even respond to you?
Because I ain't finna make you famous.
Yeah.
Right, I'm finna make you famous. That's what's finna happen.
I'm gonna make you famous by doing this. But transgender parents, if you allow your under 18, 17 kid to transgender from when they're not really mentally sound enough to make adult decisions, they can't even buy alcohol. You know, if you allow them to make that kind of decision and they go with it, why let your transgender, not if it's the other way, but if it was a male that's now a female kid, why would you allow your kids to try to play in a woman's sport? You have to tell your kid, like, hey man, if you're gonna do this, I can't let you play sports, because I even feel like if I know you want to, you're my child, I want to give you everything you want to, little Timmy or Samantha or whatever it is. But I don't know whichever way they're transgendering. I'm just saying you got to let them know that we can't allow you to play sports. I'll let you make this decision, but this decision is going to prompt this decision.
Right.
Agreed.
You know, so I just
absolutely.
I don't understand.
That's where tough parenting got to come in. You let them do this, so now you got to tell them they can't do this because they did that.
I don't get the men and women sports.
But then the thing is, they're trying to make it easy.
It's so easy that it's stupid.
It's so easy that it's complicated. Correct. It's just like make their own lane. Because I mean, like for a certain period of time, girls and boys competed against each other from when they're in elementary school. But then when they got to a certain age, they separated them.
Taekwondo, we did.
It's like, no, the competition is not going to be fair. So there's a girls' track team, there's a boys' track team, there's a football team, there's a wrestling team, there's a volleyball team, whatever. It's separated out. Girls, you can go here. Guys, you can go here. You can't do it together. Now, all of a sudden,
everybody confused.
You want to identify and go to the other side? No, I have an identified team, a transgender team. That's the team you on right there.
Yeah, because you can't force everybody else to accept that. You may have accepted it within yourself, and the people may have accepted it around you. But there are people who are like, "Hey, that's not even fair."
It ain't even about acceptance. It's about genetics. It's about physical strength. What you were born with, the chromosomes, the genetic makeup that make you different.
Yeah, that's right. Because we don't care when transgenders are in boardrooms or in regular jobs, because that's not a physical opposition type sport. So it's tough. And we don't care when it happens the other way. If you are a woman that transgendered to a male and within a male sport, nobody cares because you're probably not going to win. That's just the truth. I mean, nobody really cares about that.
We had a woman.
Who would care about that?
We had a real girl. Wanted to play football in high school.
I remember that.
And I mean, everybody, there's a big thing. And all it was like, go ahead. I'm going to knock your jaw off. If I see you running, I'm going to give you. So it's different.
I know women who were kickers, were punters and kickers on football teams.
Yeah.
The likelihood of you, if somebody tried to run one back and you
if that ball is in your hand.
But there have been documented cases of that and they kick well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's all you do is kick because you ain't taking them licks like us. You're not doing that.
I just think
you got too much.
Just keep it separated.
I just think also too, not even just the parents, but like the coaches and the principals and stuff. I know that they would get a lot of backlash as the school, homophobic, this, that, and the third. But it's just like we gotta throw that out the window. And is everybody have the same,
nothing to do with none?
Equally genetics, like you said. Like, okay. You can't do this. I'm sorry. You can cheer if you want, or something that's not as physical where you have to go up against someone else.
Yeah, and if I'm playing and there's a transgender girl on the team, I would not want to hurt her. It would be hard for me to do her like I would do a guy, hit her like I hit a guy, slam or punch her like I hit a guy. I would, because I know she's a woman. I don't know how hard I can do that because I'm built a different way. I protest, but if it was in a one-on-one sport against a woman, but I wouldn't want to hurt her.
If we lined up in the Oklahoma drill, if she really wanted to do it, we can do it. You know,
you
better bite that mouthpiece.
Yeah, I can get that though. I understand that line of thinking.
All right, well, we are ain't on that topic. We well into it.
Yeah, we're at 57 minutes, but
never mind. Sorry.
Yeah. I got the time.
All right, three more minutes. Let me think of something. Hold on.
So sorry, y'all.
It's that family time podcast. How's your day? I'm just playing.
I'm gonna say ask another question or something. Not that.
Yeah.
Ask what's your favorite color or something.
Absolutely.
We celebrated Father's Day. Happy belated Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers.
I am a dog father. She loves Jesus.
A dog father.
She wish it was something else. We went to Fuji.
Nah, he wish it was something else.
We went to Fuji. It's not about me. We went to Fuji.
It is apparently.
Yeah, I'm talking to the audience. We went to Fuji.
We did. Day. It was delicious.
It was all right. That is my dad's favorite restaurant.
I like Fuji.
Yeah, it was between that and Red Bull.
One of his favorite, and Red Bull is not his favorite, but Fuji.
I said it was between that.
I know,
and
I didn't want to.
Since it's Father's Day, I say we all give one of the best or memorable moments.
Okay,
sounds like my mom. He got
with your father. No, I didn't. I like to think.
Okay,
so give a good memory with your dad.
Are we going
with
in
your
order?
own personal
Are we going
okay.
in order?
No, Nick. Just say it.
Oh, I'll go.
Uh-huh.
I have two that are tied for
one,
number
Logan.
one. Okay, they're tied for number one. Number one would be our father-daughter date at Chick-fil-A. That was a good night. We went in a limo.
That was a good night.
It was pretty fun. The second one was when we were in. I think we were in Florida, and my dad almost drowned in the waves.
How is that? It's just funny.
I did not almost drown.
Yes, it did.
But a little bit.
That is not good.
It's a little fight in me now. It's a little bit of fight in me.
Yes, he did.
That was hilarious.
That was a core memory because we were playing frisbee or whatever. Or
I did not almost drown. That's a lie.
He was trying to do the boogie board or whatever. We were trying to do. That is a core memory. Okay.
No one had to help me. I just stood up and cleared the water out of my nose. That's all. But it was a little moment. It was a little, maybe a small little panic, but I got myself back right and got my G back. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
I think a core memory for me is when I got two. I think too.
See,
I think what was it? We went to Uchi Creek. We got to play basketball on the same team. That was pretty cool.
And my son was busting people, man.
They could not hold me.
Hey,
I would name drop, but I'm not going to.
Don't name drop.
I'm not going to do that.
But yeah, having your son on your team playing some grown men, and then I'm like, son, don't get to a spot. You know what I'm saying? If you get in an open spot, pull it, son. Shoot it. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared to shoot it. And he was draining them against grown men. Every time he was open, I said, pull it, son. He was killing them. That was a good. That was a good.
The other time I would be again. We was at the beach.
And
we was playing football.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was pretty good.
It's just team thing, team bonding.
That was pretty good. Random people on the beach.
Yeah.
My
dad threw for like 400 yards.
I was throwing bombs. I had to be the quarterback.
9 touchdowns.
Some were burning them. I would kill them. I was throwing them deep.
That was good. I like those moments.
Okay.
What about Cyro?
Yeah. What about Mr. Zai?
I think I have some that are tight as well. Every night when we were going to bed when we were younger, we would ask him to tell us a story or whatever, and he would read us a book or whatever, but he would make up these like elaborate stories. Like, I'm like, you just need to write a book. But I mean, they were literally like, and they were all tied together. Like, he would like take the one from the night before and like tie it together. I was like, I don't know how you're doing this. But it was my favorite thing. And then, when I was I was in 7th grade, my sister had gone out of town. And my dad took me and him to go get her car washed. And then he took us to our elementary parking lot. And he let me drive in 7th grade. And he taught me how to drive. And he was like, he got out and he made me like parallel park, reverse. Like, he taught me everything. And I was like, wow. I was like, that's a good memory.
Big up, Pizza Cyro. Good man. Great guy.
Yep.
That's right.
Great guy.
Well, now we are in for an hour. Anybody have anything else?
Y'all two got to say y'all favorite memories.
No.
Why not? Say your favorite memory with dad or granddad.
Okay.
Never mind.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
So for Marlon, I guess my favorite moment of him is when he actually became a father. So
I wasn't
the
there.
fact to the matter is,
I wasn't there.
That was him.
So no, you told me my moment. So this is my moment. So to just see him hold both of y'all for the very first time, those were like very
I understand.
Those are very, very precious moments. And then one of my favorite moments too of you and him is when he was cutting your hair for the first time.
He cut my ear open.
Yeah,
he cut my
he
ear.
did not.
It was one little nick on his
did
one
not.
time.
I have a favorite memory of him as well that I have to say.
Okay. Go ahead.
So my favorite memory of you, Mr. Marlon, was at our wedding when you are standing next to Mackenzie and you are weeping as well.
Oh man!
I wasn't gonna cry, but I'm crying.
Not crying,
No, literally,
weeping.
it was just. I mean, like you're such a good dad, anyways.
Yep.
You're such a good dad to me, and you've always loved me like your own. But that was like one of the moments where I was like, he really is my dad. Like,
That's
he's
right.
not just Mackenzie's dad. Like, he is my dad.
Now you're gonna make me
Stop
cry.
it. Okay.
I'm not.
Worst
I'm
memories.
Not a reaper.
Let's stop the crying. Worst memories.
No, but I'm very happy for my son that day. He married a very beautiful woman who loves him dearly, and I love Marielle, and I was very happy. And not only did I help in the delivery, I cut the umbilical cord for both of y'all.
He did. And he also made sure he followed y'all, because I was like, do not, because I had C-section, so I was like, go with my babies. Yes. Do not stay here with me. I'm gonna be all right, because I don't want them to switch my babies.
Yes, she was not too sick to bark out order for me.
My babies.
I followed the nurse everywhere when they pricked his heel and did this little footprint, and we did the whole, circumcision, and with Morgan out everywhere that they went, I went. So they did not switch our babies with somebody else for sure.
So then,
okay, back to Mackenzie's wedding, because I just had to say, this has nothing to do with Father's Day, but if y'all could have saw my brother walk down the aisle to the song that he walked down the aisle to, I might just be biased.
When they actually played.
But I had to go help the lady, but it's okay.
We love you, lady.
But that it was fine, and she couldn't hold it in. She had everybody yelling while he was walking down the aisle. We were being quiet. I told the boys in the back, his friends, that they couldn't yell, and she was like, "Yes, sir." So everybody just
y'all had to be there.
You just had to be there.
See my son walk down the aisle the way he was, the coolest dude outside of his dad.
And look, and I knew when I saw Marielle come down in that dress, I was trying to not let him turn around and look.
He would go.
She was so beautiful. I said, my son is going to drop at least one tear.
He dropped a tear when he
was crying the whole time.
He cried when he walked down before Marielle was even there.
Now look, I want to say something. Mackenzie dropped a tear. I dropped a tear at my wedding. But that is not weeping.
Yeah, I dropped it.
we let one tear. I think that was weeping.
You dropped more than one tear.
There's a picture. There's a picture of both of y'all's faces. No, but he was weeping. I can't say for you. He had tears even while we were talking. He had tears that I was.
The girl in the jail. He got you the girl in the jail.
I was not weeping.
Okay, but shout out to Mr. Sai at the wedding, because when we did Dreams and Nightmares, he came through dancing, and that
that night.
Shout out to Mr. Sai.
Extremely awkward.
No, it was fine.
That was one of the best
shout out to my
moments.
dad too for walking back and forth. Take all the ladies. I know his feet were fire.
Yeah, I did have to escort everybody in.
I know his feet were fire.
I forgot about that.
Ooh, good God.
But y'all, that's it for tonight. We have gone down memory lane, and for all the fathers out there, just being the father is the most important thing you can be. Is to be an involved father. We need more of you, and we thank you for all that you've done for us. So until next week, thank y'all.